Okay, so now that you have watched the notes and seen some examples, let's try some more on here. The first one I'm going to do for you, so I just want you to watch and pay attention, and then I'll give you one to try. So this one says 25% of 40 is what number? So this is saying basically what is 25% of 40? So if you went out to shopping, something was $40, but it's 25% off, how much would you get to save? So from your notes, the very top, you take your percent, you write it as a fraction. So remember, percents are written over 100. Remember, of means times. 40 as a fraction would be 40 over 1. Okay? Now I want to see if I can cross cancel. I could divide these both by 20. So 40 divided by 20 is 2. 100 divided by 20 is 5. Now I'm going to multiply across. 25 times 2 is 50. 5 times 1 is 5. I mean, you can leave it improper, but this one's easy enough to do. 50 divided by 5 is 10. So what that means is if you bought something that was originally $40, but it was 25% off, you would save $10. So that wouldn't be the new price. That would be how much you would save. So you don't have to do this because it's not an actual like going out and shopping thing, but just to show you, you would take the original price if it was 40 and subtract what you got. So the new price you would pay would be $30. Okay, so the discount would be 10, you would pay 30, you would subtract the discount from the original number. But you don't have to do that because it's just asking us what 25% of 40 is what number. So this would be your final answer. Just wanted to show you an example. Okay, so let me get one for you to try. So I'm going to have you pause and try this one using a fraction. So 80%, write that as a fraction, multiply it by 75. Remember how to write the percent as a fraction and remember how to write the whole number as a fraction. And then cross cancel and then multiply. You can leave it improper if you want. So try that one. Okay, here's another one. They're just having a bigger number, which is okay. So I'm just going to try one like this for you, and then I'll give you one to try. So the same exact steps. 60% would be 60 over 100. Of means times. 150 is 150 over 1. All right, I'm going to cross cancel. I can divide these both by 50. So 100 divided by 50 is 2. 150 divided by 50 is 3. Multiply across. 60 times 3 is 180. 1 times 2 is 2. 180 divided by 2 is 90. So that means if you bought something for $150, but it was 60% off, you would get to save $90. So that would be a good sale. Okay, so let me give you guys one of these ones to try. Same exact steps. All right, so I will have you pause and try this one. So the same exact thing. You don't have to use a table. Use the fraction method. It's just way quicker, unless you want to use the table. But I think the fraction is much better. So you would write it as a percent. The percent is a fraction. The whole number is a fraction, and then multiply. So try that one. So now we're going to do it backwards. Really have to read carefully for these problems so you know what steps to take. So this one says 75% of what number is 48? So they're saying, what was the original number where you would take 75% off and get 48 for an answer? So this is one where you do it backwards. You take the whole number first, write that as a fraction, and then you want to divide that by the percent written as a fraction. And then this is the division. So you want to remember with division with fractions, you need to do keep, change, and then flip. Okay? And then you can solve it. So I can divide these both by 3. So I'm going to get 25 here, and this is going to give me 16. Now I can multiply across. I'm going to get 1,600 over 25. Okay? I'm going to divide these both by 25. So I'm going to get 1 on the bottom. And let's see, 25 goes into 150. 6 times, and I have, okay, so 64 over 100. Hopefully I did that really quick in my head, but I'm pretty sure it's 64 over 1, so that would be 64. So 75% of 64 would be 48, okay? So these ones you do backwards. They want you to find the original number, so you start with the number and divide it by the percent, and then you do keep, change, flip. So let me give you one of these ones to try. So I'm going to have you pause and try this one. It says 60% of what number is 42? So they want the original number. So this time you write the number first as a fraction, divided by the percent as a fraction, and do keep, change, flip. So pause and try this one out. All right, let's do this one together. So make sure you've done this with this one with me. So it says the width of a rectangular room is 80% of its length. What is the area of the room? So we need to do two different things for this. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what the width of the room is. They're saying that it's 80% of the length. So that means I'm going to write 80% as a fraction and multiply it by the length, which is 15. So we would write 15 as 15 over 1. Okay, now we can cross cancel. I'm going to divide these both by 5. So I'm going to get a 3 and a 20. Multiply them across. 80 times 3 is 240. 20 times 1 is 20. All right, and then I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to just take a 0 off of both of them because that means I'm dividing it by 10, and then 24 divided by 2 is 12. So that means that the width is 12. And that's the first step. Now it says, what is the area? This is a rectangle, so area is length times width. So now that I know what the width is, I can just do length times width. So 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Start with a 0. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Add them together. I get 180 feet squared. Okay, so first I had to figure out what the actual width was, and then I did length times width to find the area. So let me give you one of these to try. It will be the last one. Okay, this is the same exact thing. They just don't have a picture. So it says the length of a garden is 225% of its width. If the width of the garden is 4 meters, what is the area? So first you want to figure out what 225% of 4 is. When you figure out what that answer is, you're going to do length times width. So this is the last one, so make sure you try this.